Tafuri, former President Obama campaign foreign policy advisor, former State Department official. Bob Baer also with us, former CIA operative and CNN's intelligence and security analyst. Bob, I want your reaction first to that video that we saw. I mean, that was just remarkable. It seemed like something out of a movie, but it was real. Was this textbook?
It was textbook, and this is particularly hard. It's a hostage rescue rather than assault on a house, which is actually less dangerous. They want to keep people alive. They can't use fragmentation grenades. Clearly the training is American, and obviously there are Americans on the ground helping the Kurds go through this. The Kurds, this isn't the kind of fighting they do, so we're very intimately involved in this raid, and I'm assuming other ones as well.
I want you both to listen to what British Prime Minister Tony Blair said, apologizing for mistakes made in the war in Iraq. He sat down for this exclusive one-on-one with Fareed Zakaria.
Given, however, that Saddam Hussein did not prove to have weapons of mass destruction, was the decision to enter Iraq and topple his regime a mistake?
You know, whenever I'm asked this, I can say that I apologize for the fact that the intelligence we'd received was wrong, because even though he had used chemical weapons extensively against his own people, against others, the program in the form that we thought it was did not exist in the way that we thought. So I can apologize for that. I can also apologize, by the way, for some of the mistakes in planning, and certainly our mistake in our understanding of what would happen once you removed the regime. But I find it hard to apologize for removing Saddam. I think even from today in 2015, it is better that he's not there than that he is there.
David Tafuri, obviously some disagree with that, some agree with him, but what lessons looking forward, especially when it comes to Libya, when it comes to Syria, can be learned from that?
Well, those are very thoughtful comments from Blair. Clearly, he's torn about that decision. It was a tough decision, and I think he makes clear that he did it. They did it under false pretenses, or at least with a misunderstanding of what the intelligence was really telling them. He's also right that Saddam Hussein did need to be removed, but perhaps in a different way, with more thought put into it, with more coalition partners going in with us. But take that to today. Now we see that the U.S. presence has to grow again in Iraq, and it really does have to in order to take care of this ISIS threat. We see as a result of this raid that you just reported on that the U.S. forces are working very cooperatively and productively with the Peshmerga Kurdish forces. And so this raid was a real success. It shows how the U.S. and forces on the ground can work together to be successful against ISIS. I think we can hope to see some more of that. Planned out raids that are successful, and more cooperation and training provided to the forces on the ground, particularly the Kurdish forces.
What about, Bob, when it comes to Syria and you look at the potential power vacuum there, right? What lessons can be learned from the toppling of other dictators, the ousting of other dictators when it comes to Assad in Syria?
Well, it's exactly, Poppy. It's the day after. Nobody had any idea what would happen in Iraq or in Syria, obviously. We've not been able to recognize, various groups that differentiate between them. We really have terrible intelligence both in Iraq and Syria. And by the way, Blair, he's being a little bit disingenuous, because I worked with the British for many, many years, and at every exchange, we all agreed that our intelligence on Saddam Hussein was very bad, and that while we needed to get rid of him, we never trusted the intelligence about weapons of mass destruction, and I don't know why that didn't filter up to the Prime Minister's office. That's a question I would have asked him.
Bob Baer, David Tafuri, thank you both very much. I wish we had a whole lot more time. We'll have you both on again soon. Coming up next to politics, Marco Rubio.